and not so much of a screamer, but to actually know what I was doing. You
Right.
know, like AAU was a little different for me because I always had the best players.
Right.
But there's no way that you can have the best players and win all the time.
Nope.
You know, you got to know what you're doing. You know,
Right.
so I really studied the game, man, and watched a lot of film and stuff, and it really helped prepare me, you know, to be a great high school coach and
Mhm.
to have some opportunities outside of great.
Right. So you started with AAUs. That was your initial foray into coaching.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, like, I came down with the late great my uncle Mark Gerald, and
Right.
you know, he introduced me to, you know, like when I was coaching Parks and Recreation, man, like he introduced me to the game as far as on that side, making sure I had an understanding of, look, I don't know nobody that's won every game, you know, but what you got to do, even when you lose, what are you doing to prepare for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Right.
he taught me a lot, you know, to get me involved into, you know, the AAU, because it was like Parks and Recreation, sitting down talking with him,
Mm-hmm.
and then me jumping into the AAU world.
Okay. So now that you've gotten to this point, um, what made you decide that, it may be time for me to move on from Greg?
Man,
What were some of the reasons that played into that decision?
I think it might have been like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, you want to win,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I really got out of, you know, really got a lot of pleasure out of just making sure my guys went to school and, you know, me being able to see them on TV,
Mm-hmm.
you know, doing something that they love,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but, you know, like the, the fifth state championship, I really didn't get a chance to celebrate. I was happy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, happy for the kids and stuff, but, you know, I mean, it was feeling different. And the last time I felt that way is when I got out of AAU basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you know, you want another challenge and stuff. And then even this year, with everything that transpired with teams not playing us and stuff like that, you know, it didn't bother me, but it did raise up my eyebrows even more to, you know, the direction that basketball was heading, you know, in SC. So, you know, I was like, you know, do I really want to sit there and still be part of that, or, you know, do I want to sit there and, you know, gather myself and, you know, do something else that I dreamed of doing, and, you know, when this opportunity presented itself, I just thought it was time.
Right. Now, so they approached you. When they first approached you, were you excited about it, or were you surprised, or what?
No, I
Georgia.
wasn't surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I mean, like you know, Mike, I can coach.
Right.
You know, I'm a really, really good coach, man.
Right.
And you know, yes, great players do want to come play for me. So, you know, people say, "Oh, that's recruiting," but it's not really recruiting. It's just, you know, kids and parents watch what's going on,
Right.
and you know, they want to sit there and they want to go with, you know, like the new wave.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Coach Henry is a very, very good coach, and he's smart. And our relationship built over the last year and a half, and he's been watching me. I mean, he already had one of my guys there,
Oh, really?
and then my other kid, Braylon Thomas, had committed,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, he just invited me down, which I'd never been to Statesboro. I always watched them play on TV, and you know, he showed me the campus and got to watch them work out and stuff. And then he was like, "Hey, look," he said, "I would love, you know, for you to come and be an assistant coach here at Georgia Southern." And I was like, well, my first response was, let me talk to the bosses in the house.
Mm.
I had to talk to my wife and I had to talk to my girls. And,
Right.
you know, my wife was like, as long as it wasn't over 3 hours, she was cool. And, you know, she is so supportive, her and the girls, because all my success is because of them.
Right.
You know, that's my drive. Everything I do it for them.
Right.
You know, and, you know, for them to get behind, you know, my dream, even though they're not going to live here the first year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're still close enough, and we have a place here as well. You know, but yeah, Mike, it was a blessing because to be honest, man, I wasn't going back to Gray either way, man.
Really?
I said that to myself, and you getting the first insight of it, and my inner circle, the people that's close to me, they knew that.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that I would probably be an athletic director and not coach basketball this year.
Right.
But it was no way I wanted to do both, man. So but it's all God's plan, man, and it worked its way out. So, I'm just glad I got this opportunity, and I'm gonna take full advantage of it.
Deon, and this is just me talking. I was not pleased with the way things went after you won in Florence this year. I wasn't pleased with the way you were handled. How'd you feel about the attitudes surrounding you guys winning that state championship? Because there was a lot of chatter out there about stuff.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but it's always since I've been at Gray, man. When I came up with the Gray versus everybody, I mean, nothing changed.
Right.
It still stayed the same, but at the same time, man, like you had people who you thought were friends.
Oh boy.
Like really change up on you, and like the thing about it is, like, you win some and you lose some.
Right.
But every time I lost, I always stayed the same. Hey, we got to come back and be even better next year. So it was never a deal about me changing up anything. But I do feel like a lot of people, man, like they were real ugly, man, and I really didn't pay it no attention because I didn't care because we were gonna win. But at the end of the day, man, now you know who's who, and you're able to sit there and move forward.
Wow. Deon, give me a typical day in the life of an assistant college basketball coach. What are the things that you're primarily responsible for in your position?
I work with the bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, been blessed to work with some great guys at a lot of these camps, man. John Lucas
Mm-hmm.
told me if I wanted to keep climbing and be great at this, I needed to make sure I was able to not only work with guards, but work with forwards and bigs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very versatile. So, came into this role, with whatever was needed to help us get better and
Mm-hmm.
to help us win. So I work with the bigs, and then also too, I'm responsible for making us one of the top rebounding teams in the country.
Mm.
Last year we wasn't, we was just okay, but coach was like, hey, look, we want to be better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking on that challenge, and watching a lot of film, man, and I know players, so recruiting some really good players between North Carolina, South Carolina, and that Augusta, Georgia area, and Atlanta. So just on the phone, making phone calls, and talking to kids, and talking to parents, getting them on campus, and just bringing a lot of life and energy, man, positive energy to practice, man. We have a great group, man. So that's what I'm bringing.
Right.
And I do understand the game as well too. So
right.
College and high school is very different.
Mm-hmm.
People talking about it's basketball. No, it is basketball, but it's also levels to it, because it's different lingos, it's different, like it's different everything. So all I've been doing is being a sponge and soaking it all in, because we got a great staff and we work well together. And they showing me a lot of stuff.
Right.
So I'm excited about it.
Give us an idea of the hierarchy on a college basketball coaching staff. I know you got the head coach, and how does it flow down from there?
You got the head coach, and then of course our 4 assistants.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3 assistants, and then our other director of basketball operations. But he come to all of us. We meet. We meet and we have great conversations just about, like how's the team flowing, how practice was, and just getting an idea of what our ceiling should be.
Mm-hmm.
And what we can do to improve every day.
let's talk about some of the players that you've had that's gone on. I know that you had the big kid you had a couple of years ago went on to Georgetown. Did he not? How did he pan out there?
Well, Brandon ended up changing it. He ended up going to Southern Cal.
Oh,
And yeah, he went to Southern Cal. He was out there with Bronny and them, but he had got hurt.
right.
So they redshirted him. So he didn't get a chance to play. And then he went in the portal
Hmm.
this summer, and he's at Arizona State now.
Wow.
He wanted to stay on the West Coast.
Didn't you had Bryce Johnson? I think he played. Was he at Woodland back then?
He was at Edisto.
Edisto, right.
Yeah.
So that was one of your AAU kids. You coached him?
Yeah, man. Yeah, love Bryce, man. He's like a little brother to me, man. And he loved my girls. He treated them like his sisters. And watching Bryce development, and I'm gonna say this: it's a lot of people when they saw him at the Chick-fil-A,
Right.
didn't think he was North Carolina good.
Right.
And now his jersey hanging in the rafters. But we always knew, and he'd tell anybody. The thing that I brought out of him was he had so much buildup of him losing his mother,
Right.
and it was like a frustration there, and he didn't know how to channel it. So I was telling him, I'm like, bro, anytime you dunk or block a shot, man, like, it's okay for you to let everybody know. So the coaches was like, Coach, is he crazy? And I'm like, nah, that's just his way of channeling that type of energy outside, man. Like him yelling, dunking, playing with that type of passion, which made him, who he was at North Carolina and getting drafted in the first round.
What is going to be the thing that you miss most about coaching high school basketball in South Carolina?
Just the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the kids, man. I had some great relationships with a lot of the high school coaches too.
Mm-hmm.
And then my staff, my staff was amazing, man. It was real tough for me to tell them that, I was taking another step. But like anything we do in life, man, it's like, yeah, that chapter may be closing, but it's another one that's opening. Like when I put that thing out saying that I was leaving at the bottom of it, it just said that, hey, look, this ain't the end. We'll be back together. But I needed an opportunity for me to grow, and get this type of experience.
Right. So now the program is going to be headed up by local star Carlos Powell. How involved were you with that hiring? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know Carlos, right?
Yeah, I really wasn't.
You wasn't?
When I met with my principal, man, he threw a couple of names at me. I told him Brandon Wallace, Mark Cooper,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he was going to interview those guys. And I have a great relationship with Carlos. Carlos is family,
Right.
but Dr. Newsom would tell anybody it was his decision.
Right.
Like I voiced my opinion, but under his leadership, he felt like that was the best direction for him to go.
Right. So you have hope. You have high hopes for Greg going forward. What about the high school league? Are you happy now where the high school league is as it relates to its constituency? Because there's been a lot of controversy the last several years or so. What do you think the high school league is right now?
Well, I mean, everybody thought I had an issue with them. Like, I never had no issues. And what was crazy was, like, I was there 10 years, and we never had any hiccups.
Right.
No violations, like, oh, they cheating and this and that. Like,
Nothing.
never had any violations. And Jerome was always good to me.
Right.
Jerome, Charlie, Sarah. I mean, that whole crew. And, like you fight the fights you can fight.
Right.
But then at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and poke no bears either because they don't bother me.
Right. Exactly.
And like everybody talk about the facilities or where the game and stuff should be played, man, at the end of the day, as long as it's a gym and it's suitable for the kids, they just play the game.
Right.
Because I swear the championships, like, or upper state lower state final been moved everywhere.
Right.
So, like, they trying to do their job too, but, I really didn't care. Like I said, at the end of the day, It didn't matter where it was. Let's just go play.
Right.
You know, only suggestion I made to them when they asked me was they need to put a like a black backdrop right behind, you know, the area where they don't want no seating where the cheerleaders sit at.
Right.
Like just put something coming down, and then that way you'll be good to go.
You know, I think that I think it was a great success last year. I mean, I talked to some people online, and a lot of them were, you know, not happy. Why does Powdersville have to come all the way to Florence to play against Wren? I'm like, you know, it was great for the local fans here because we got to see these upstate teams that we didn't normally see in a state semifinal situation. But I was just really blown away by the vitriol of folks from the upstate. I mean, I didn't really understand that, Deon. I mean, like you said, the game's got to be played. Just have it in a place that the games can be played and everybody can be happy in terms of the players, and we're good. But it didn't seem like it was that kind of party this year.
Yeah, it was different, you know, to hear it. But once again, man, I don't get into that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just wanted to make sure, like, just like every other year, man, when we got ready for the playoffs and stuff, we just all locked in together. I locked into my kids, my coaches, and, you know, we knew we had a job to do, so it didn't matter where we played at. We just had to go out and play.
Right. So now here we are in July. I guess you guys are ramping up now, or you have been ramped up for the upcoming season at Georgia Southern.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we leave for the DR on Monday. We got 2 games out there, so we'll be in the Dominican Republic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're excited. We'll be there from the 22nd through the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm blessed, Mike, man. That's all I can say, man. I didn't know anything about it. And then when I got here and stuff, they talked about it, man. But, you know, everything I've done and accomplished, man, like, you know, it's all him.
Right.
You know, but then at the same time, it's everything, like, I swear my family put into me, man. You know, from my Mullins family
right
to my, you know, Columbia family, like my great uncle Mark Gerald, you know, and my wife and my kids, man. It's like, you know, they saw it. I just had to stick to the script, man, and you know, just keep going, man, and you know, just being patient too. And you know, staying humble, man. Like, you know, I had a couple of high school coaches ask me about the transition, and you know, a lot of them were like, man, you know, I'm looking up to you. You know, and all I tell them is, man, relationships are very important, and it's all about how you treat people, and they'll never forget that.
Okay, one last question: are you going to be making your acting debut, as we talked about some time ago?
It's coming. You know, Willie Jeffrey's documentary. Now they done started on the school.
Okay.
So now they're gonna start pushing that more. And then you know, I told you about the book.
Right.
We're still working on that. And then a real good friend of mine, Jacob Carter, that did the Willie Jeffrey documentary, him and Erskine wanted to do one on me, but didn't know I was leaving.
Right.
So you know, just being like, the focus right now is, you know, Georgia Southern men's basketball and us have an opportunity to win the, you know, league championship and possibly get to the tournament.
Right.
But then outside of that, it's like, you know, I have a great story, man, that everybody want to sit there and know about.
Right.
You know, and, you know, everybody got bits and pieces, but, you know, it's going to be really good, man. And I'm super excited about the direction that I'm heading, and, you know, I'm looking forward to it, man.
I'm looking forward to it too, Deon. And I want to thank you for calling in this morning. You know, I had some technical issues this morning. We couldn't do it like I wanted to, but I can always depend on you, man, to come through for me, and you did today, and I appreciate it, bro.
Mike, you family, man. Anytime, and don't hesitate to call me if you need anything, and when you want to come to a game, let me know, and that schedule will be out. We'll be at Rock Hill for 3 days in November.
Okay.
So let me know.
All right. I'll do that. Thank you. Okay. Deon Bethea, have a great day, bro. All right, later. Folks, that's all the time we got. I'll be back next week with more. And I'm out. Later.